What is up, my friends? Welcome to Friday's episode, the Craft of Fatherhood podcast. This is your guide, Ned Shout. I believe our role as fathers has the power to change the world simply by knowing who we are and embracing the adventure. On these episodes, I will share stories from my own fatherhood journey, things I'm thinking about, things I'm wrestling with. And so here you go. The other night, today is actually Thursday, 2/22. It's a pretty good day. Feeling a little tired this week, but Monday we did a father-son night. So I've been, just with 4 other dads and their kids, it is literally a fight to try to get this to happen. I mean, it's wild how full the schedules these days are. But I'll tell you, this is our 4th time meeting. I've talked about this. I'll just tell you quickly what we're doing. All the boys are between 13 and 17. And a father shares a story. We do a devotional. We all stand up and read something at the beginning. We sit around a fire. We make dinner, pray, eat, just kind of connect. The boys are doing their thing. The boys go build a fire. Us dads kind of just rap about whatever. Then we go stand around the fire, read something out loud about being a man. Then we do highs, lows, a confession or struggle, and something you're grateful for. And then a dad will share his story or a story, and then we'll do some sort of devotion teaching, and then talk about what the commitment is for the next month, and then we'll stand and read something again at it ends. So that's what we did. I highly encourage it. Hard to do, but hard things are good. But there is a statement that came out of that moment that I wanted to share with you. So one of the gentlemen who comes over to the house, one of the dads, he has a son that's already moved out. And we were talking about this idea of young 20-year-olds, how there's this I need to go get this worked out of my system. I'm going to go out, I'm going to party, I'm going to sleep around, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. I'm going to go work it out of my system. And we were talking, where the frick did this come from? Where did this statement come from? This is not accurate. This is not helpful. And here's what he said, and I want you to be thinking about this. You are not working anything out of your system. What you're doing is you are working it into your system. And if you work it into your system, you are going to have to overcome it someday. So this idea, this concept, and it's funny because even as dads, sometimes these stories we share is like, oh man, when I was younger, whatever. And sometimes there's this weight of excitement around maybe something that wasn't really good for us. I wonder if we move away from that and we celebrate more maybe the wild adventure, but not something that was destructive to ourselves or to those around us. It's interesting why we kind of lean into those times. I think as we are raising our boys and raising our daughters, this concept to the boy of go, sow your wild oats or whatever, let's move away from that. And then also for our girls to not be looking for the negative side of the young man who's out sowing his wild oats. Adventure, fantastic adventure, but things that lead to life, not to hurt and pain and frustration. And so the younger we start to paint the picture, the way that we share the stories that we have will be helpful. And this shift away from, oh, well, yep, you better get it out of your system in your 20s because then you're going to be married and then you're going to be the rest of your life. We have to move away from that. And if that's true, how do we go make that untrue? That is a choice. I'm in my 22nd year of marriage. These should be the fighting for, the wrestling, the adventurous continue. That should continue. And that's really up to me to lead that, which really leads me great into this next thing I was going to talk about. As dads, husbands, as men, we should be sharing knowledge with each other, right? If we were in a village, and I learned a new skill, I would come teach my neighbor this new skill. Hey, I learned this. And here's the thing too, that's funny that I think we've got away with. I don't know where I heard this, but if I lived in a village and I went and shot a deer, I wouldn't sneak it in and hide the deer in my, fridge in my tent so that nobody knew and hoard it to myself. I would share it with everybody because I know there's going to come a day where I go out on a hunt, I don't get anything, and I'm going to hope that my neighbor does and that he'll share it with me. It's like now we have an abundance. We're not even worried about that yet. Gosh, we just keep things for ourselves a lot of times instead of sharing them and being generous with them, knowing that it's like maybe it won't be like this forever. Where, I mean, it's so stupid on my cul-de-sac. Every one of us has a $2,000 lawnmower. Why is that a thing? Why we aren't? I mean, sure, maybe there's sometimes we're all mowing, but we could share one. 7 of us times $2,000 each. That's seriously dumb. I don't know why it's that way. Okay, what was I saying? Okay. Are we sharing knowledge with each other, or are we just sending, TikToks and Instagrams and reels and stories and whatever that are maybe shocking or funny? Now I get it, depending on who you are. Maybe your friends are sending you an abundance of read this book, listen to this podcast. I feel like I get a lot of that sent to me. But a friend of mine sent me a podcast, and I'm going to tell you, go listen to this Modern Wisdom number 971 with Adam Lane Smith. He was the guest. I've messaged him. If you know him, let's get him on my podcast. I've listened to that 2.5 times already. I need to sit down. Next time, probably on an airplane, I'll sit down and listen to it slow, journal. But 3 things I want you to hear from this. One is, if you hear something good and you're learning it, are you sharing it? Are you sharing it with another brother, another father? Next is, how are you implementing it in your own life? Are you just, what am I reading right now? Some business book, but it's like knowledge plus application equals transformation. Are we applying this? Or are we just going to the next thing to learn about? And then are we teaching it in our home? So check this out. This podcast, I'm going to give you a taste, because if you don't go listen to it, this guy, Adam, teaches 4 areas of safety that men must provide. So here's the 4 areas. Definitely go listen. It's flipping. It's good. Number 1 is resource. And man, this was heavy. Like, I love this. Like, yeah, you got dual income, but as the man, if both of you lost your jobs, you got to go pay rent tomorrow. You better get your ass out of bed and this is my interpretation, not a quote. You're the one to go find a way tomorrow. You're the one to go find a way as a man. That's up to you. Believe that. I want to teach that to my son, and I want my daughters to expect that from their husbands. The second one was protection. The third one was resource safety. Women are looking for resource safety. Men need to provide resource safety, number 1. Number 2, protection. So like, are we providing protection? Number 3, this one hit me, is like, are you emotionally safe? Can your lady come and talk to you about anything and you be generous, graceful, listening, only solving if you're asked to solve, but really just there, hearing all of it. Grace, patience. I've not always been good at that. And then the last one, which he talked about some different hormones, I'll let him get into that, but is bonding safety. Are you safe to bond to? And dude, this stuff is real. So go listen to it. It's really freaking good. And then the next thing is what do you do with that? And it's like, okay, well, I'm leaning into how do I be a better listener and more emotionally safe to my wife? How do I be aware of the emotional bond, the safe bonding? And then I made my family sit down. I got 4 teenage daughters, and I taught this to them, and we discussed it. We talked about it because I want them, like, what are they looking for in a dude? Am I, as a father, leading and having conversation, not telling, but having conversation around these things to go, okay, like, why would this matter? Why would you look for this or not look for this? Where is the culture saying something different? And it's not to beat up on the culture, but what are we saying in our home? What are we teaching? So taught it to my family, and then again taught it to the other night. This is what I did as my kind of devotion lesson component to the father-son night. And it's like telling a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old boy, telling them, these are the types of men that us dads are working to be, and this is what we're preparing you to be. This is what we learned. This is why it matters. This is where I failed in the first 10 years of my marriage at the emotional one, because nobody told me. I didn't know. And this is where it failed me to not provide this. And so it's like, okay, can you start to teach those things to your kids when the time is right, and start to have them trust you? This is the thing I said to the boys the other night. Have them start to trust you that, hey, it doesn't stop at 18. Like, I want you to trust that dad is the one you can come to discuss life with, whether you're 15, 25, 35, 45, 55. That's what you and I should be working towards, is earning the right to speak into their life. One, by the way that we live our own life, and then the way that we invite them into the family as well, like into the, being a part of the family as children and teens and whatnot. But then be the man that we want them to invite us into their world and their life. Okay, so teach. What are you teaching? And I think if we're teaching these things, then, coming back to the whole work it out of your system thing, we'd be talking about a whole different kind of culture if we're teaching our children this. Okay, my friends, it's Friday. You're listening to Friday's episode, at least. I want to end with this, an affirmation. What is an affirmation? An affirmation, a lot of people have a morning routine, say some things they're either hoping to be true or working to be true or reminding themselves of. I mean, we all know we have the great parts of us and parts of us that we would like to shift. But as men, as we get up, we get out of bed, we want to remind ourselves who we are, what we're striving to do. So you can say this with me. It'll probably shift over the weeks, months, years. But here you go. Who, first off, before we say it, who do you say that you are? I think that's why affirmation matters. Like, who do you say you are? Like, there's, if we pulled your kids, pulled your wife, pulled your friends, your coworkers, they'd have something to say about you. And maybe you're a combination of those things. But who do you say that you are? Now that matters. Who you say that you are matters. If you tell yourself every day, Ned, this is who you are, this is how you're going to show up today, then over time, if we pulled all those same people, they would be saying the same thing that you are telling you. So make sure you're shaping you. Make sure you're shaping you. Now, obviously, you want to listen to podcasts like this and go find mentors and brothers and others to wrestle with, to continue to, shave off the rough edges. But who do you say that you are? It matters. So here you go. I am the CEO, the father of this family. I am here to listen, provide for, to protect, and care for those that have been placed in my care. No one is going to do this for me. This is my opportunity, my responsibility, and my honor. My friends, I challenge you. Write this down. Put it on your mirror, put it on your toothbrush, put it in your car dash, put it on your phone screensaver, whatever. Say this to yourself every day, 30 days, 180 days, 365 days. Be this guy. The world needs you to step into who you were made to be. If these conversations are helpful, please write a review. Help spread the word that fatherhood matters. Remember who you are. You are a father, and that matters. Together, let's rebel against the view that fatherhood has little impact, and let's create lives engaged in mastering the craft of fatherhood. Much love to you, my brothers. Together, we're changing the world. I look forward to hanging out with you next week.